bliss decks. Mic check, mic check. Is it the levels? The levels, the levels is amazing. What it do, y'all? It's your brother, man, from the motherland, coming to you guys live from the NY. Back with another one of that Repent or Die podcast on today's Samba conversation. We're gonna have a great one, but before we do that, we gotta give all praise and glory to the Most High, Sunini Nanini, the great I am that I am. Round of applause for that. Yeah, wanna give a shout out to every single person that been supporting, every single person that been tuning in, to the elders, to the big bro, to everybody, man. Those that's in the Holy Land right now, that's awoken, that's doing the works, and also those that's here in the States and all across the world that's awakening to their true identity, the hidden identity, the children that's scattered, not lost. But we are here. We've been found because every day we open our eyes is the Father having mercy upon us. So another round of applause for that. Yeah. So we're gonna have a good one today, right? And this conversation is a conversation that needs to be had. Why? Because I'm starting to see a lot of you so-called awoken individuals are taking this awakening with a sense of pride, like a badge of honor, when this awakening is supposed to be used as a tool to get you closer to the Father in meekness and humble. And being teachers, but also being students, because we're still students. We have a lot of hidden records that hasn't been available to us, hasn't been unveiled to us yet by the Father. So a lot of things is still, being worked on and studying to show ourselves approved, so the Father can say, okay, so you ready for this, and I'm gonna introduce you to that. And when all of these things finally come together, then the beauty and the true essence and the bright light that these heathens has been telling us will really be manifest for the world, that's gonna overshadow the darkness, right? But what we're gonna talk about today is the elephant in the room, right? Was Jacob's name really turned, or did his name really change into Israel? I'm gonna ask this again. Was Jacob's name really changed to Israel? We're gonna talk about that today. And we're not even gonna, what I'm saying? Usually I go off, but I'm gonna keep it simple because I want this lesson today, or should I say this conversation, to be a conversation that when you finish watching this, you're gonna say to yourself, well, was his name really changed from Jacob to Israel? And if his name was changed, why was it changed? So let's get into it, right? I'm gonna give you guys my screen. Let me put up the Bible. Okay? I gotta pull up the Bible. So I'm gonna give you guys my screen. There we go. So you guys can see the screen. Okay. I gotta bring it a little closer to the middle. Okay. So you guys can see. Right? So I'm gonna always start with John. Okay? We're gonna start with John 8 and 32. Right? You can start off with 31. Then said our big brother to the Jews, or should I say to those Bantus which believe on him, If ye continue in the Father's word, then you are my disciples indeed. Verse 32. And you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. See, everything that we bring forth and everything that I bring forth, whether it's me, whether it's the elder, whether it's the big bro, or whether it's anybody that's telling brothers and sisters that we are the children of Akobi, that we are from the Holy Land is in Africa, sub-Sahara, not the Northeast, right? So anybody that's proclaiming it, these are the brothers that's giving you the truth to set you free. The objective of it all is to give you enough information for you to put the pieces together so you can be set free, right? Okay. And then we're going to go down to 44, right? We could start off at 43. It says, why do you not understand my speech, even because you cannot hear the word? I don't know what am I saying that seems to be so different. I'm not telling nobody to deviate from the law. I'm not telling nobody to not listen to the big bro. I'm just basically trying to expound on the fact that we're not Europeans. And I'm going to show you today, right? It says, verse 44, it says, you are of the father, the devil. This is our big brother talking to these Jews, right? You want to go up? When you go up to 31, it tells you who he's speaking to, right? Right? It says, you are of your father, the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abide not in truth. Right? Because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Okay? I want to set it here before we go back. Let me read that again. And abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, okay? He speaketh of his own. So every time they tell you something, it's always going to be a lie, and it's always going to be of his own, right? So now that we got that out the way, right? Let's go to Matthew's 13. All right? We're going to go to Matthew's 13. And we could start off. We'll start off at 24. We could start off at 24. We could start off at 24. No. Let's start off at 19. Who is that? I want to give you a precept. It's in 13. That I know. There we go. This is Matthew's 13 and 25, right? We could start off at 24. It says, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field, right? So the kingdom was always for the good man. We was ordained for this, right? But through our fall, right? Listen to what our big bro says. It says, but while men slept, His enemy came and sowed tares amongst the weak and went his way. So while we were sleeping, okay, while we were sleeping, the enemies came and mingled themselves amongst us, okay? And mingle themselves amongst us. I'm trying to set this. I'm trying to set the stage for you guys because we got to put an end to this inclusion, and we got to understand that a lot of this comes with a high level of confusion. Excuse me. So the fact that we coming with this high level of confusion, we really got to. How can I say this? We really got to dig deep. Like you see, he sees the wears and the tears. Like you really gotta look, pay attention, and being able to see what's the wheat and what's the tears. And guess what? A lot of you guys that's claiming to be in the truth, claiming to be the children of Jacob, are really, really following the patterns of the individuals that put the tears within the wheat. And you see why nothing that you guys bring forth is sweet. See when it rhymes? Because it's meant to go together. Let's continue. Right? But while men slept, I want everybody to see this. His enemies, our enemy. Who's the enemy? Who can be our enemy? An enemy is, matter of fact, let's pull up the definition of an enemy, right? Put up a definition. I'm sorry, guys. Take this off. What's the word? What happened? It's not gonna let me see it. Look at these heathens. Look at these heathens. Okay. So you want to make things difficult, no problem. Okay. So we gonna get it straight out of DuckGo. Okay. Let me click it so you know what it's
Enemy.
enemy. Right. Let's read what it says. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm just gonna let them do it because if I do it, is people's gonna say it's me. I don't know what I'm talking about. So let them do it.
One who feels hatred toward, intends injury to, or opposes another, a foe.
Okay. That's just one. Let's go to the second one.
One who opposes or is hostile to an idea or cause.
To an idea or cause, right? Let's go to the third one. Because you guys must have forgot. So since you forgot, let me wake you up.
Something destructive or injurious in its effects.
Something destructive or injurious in its effect. Okay? They want you injured. They want you to be destroyed. Okay? But I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Let's go back now. So now, why am I going here? Right? I go here because we've been told that, Jacob's name was changed unto Israel. And we need to find out if that was really true or was that an interjection. So we're going to go to where it started from and we're going to have this conversation, right? Let's start off with Genesis 32 and we're going to start off with verse 1. As you guys can see what the title says right here, right? It says, and Jacob went out his way, and the angels of the Father met him, right? So the angels is already with him, right? We just gonna set the stage. And when Jacob saw them, he said, This is the father's house. And he called the name of that place Miahama. I don't know how to say that word. Let me see it. Let me see how they say it.
Mahanaim.
Mahanaim. Right? And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, right? The country of Edom, right? Verse 4. This is what, pay attention to verse 4. And he commanded them, saying, so this is what Jacob is commanding his messengers to say. Thus shall you speak unto my lord Esau. So now Esau has become Jacob's lord, right? So everybody read this, but nobody don't put these things together. So now here's our brother referring to Esau as Lord. Thy servant Jacob said thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. Right? I have oxen and asses, flocks and manservants and womanservants, and I have sent to tell my Lord that I might find grace in thy sight. Right? And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to thy brother Esau, and also he came to meet thee, and 400 men with him. Right? Look, now we're going to read verse 7, right? Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and the herds and the camels into 2 bands, and said, if Esau come to one company and smite thee, then the other company which is left shall escape. Right? Then this is not Jacob. This is Jacob, right? After this is Jacob praying to the Father, right? He says, and Jacob said, Oh, Father Abraham. Oh, so you don't even have to say that. You say, oh, Sunini, my father Abraham. Oh, Sunini, my father Isaac. Oh, Sunini, the father which said unto me. So the father, so you see, it says, Lord, which said unto me. So this is right here means that the father has a connection with Jacob, right? Jacob was able to see when angels came. Verse 1 says, and Jacob went out on his way, and the angels of God met him, right? And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is God's host. So he knows, he's seen them. He's like, oh, okay, I know who you guys are, right? Cool. Let's go back down. It says, and the Lord which said unto me, so this is the Father speaking unto Jacob, right? Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. So this is the Father talking to Jacob, right? Cool. Let's continue. Verse 10 says, I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servants. For with my staff I pass over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands, right? Deliver me, I pray thee, for the hands of my brother, from the hands of Esau, for I fear him. This is Jacob saying, I fear him. But I want to paint this picture. So Jacob first calls him Lord. Now he's afraid of him. He's speaking to the Father. He knows who the angels are. This is all on 32, right? Let's continue. For I fear him, lest he will come and smite thee and the mothers with the children, right? And thou said, right? And thou said, I will surely do thee good and make thy seed as the sand of the sea. So this is Jacob referring to what the Father is having a conversation. And thou saidest, I will surely do thee good and make thee the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for a multitude. And he lodged there that same night and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother, right? 200 she goats and 20 he goats, 200 ewes and 20 rams, 30 malak camels with their colts, 40 kinds and 10 bulls, 20. We're gonna bypass all of this, right? Verse 17. Scroll down to 17. And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brother meeteth thee and asked thee, saying, who art thou? And whether goes thou, and who are those before thee? Then thou shalt say, thy be thy servant Jacob. It is a present sent unto my Lord Esau. You see this? Unto my Lord Esau. And behold, also he is behind us. Right? Pay attention. We're going to read. We're going to read today. Right? And so he he the second and the third, and all the followers that drove, saying, on this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when you found him. And say ye moreover, behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will please him with the present that goeth before him, and afterward I will see his face. Preadventure he will accept of me. Right? So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night into thy company. Right? Right? Now let's go to 32. Verse 22, excuse me. And he rose up. This is talking to Jacob. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 woman servants and his 11 sons and passed over the ford of Jabbok. Right? So this is a man that rose up in the night, at night, took his 2 wives, Rachel and Leah, and his 2 servants, which also is his wife, but they want to put it like this because they don't want to promote this, right? And his 11 sons, and passed over the fork of Jabbok, right? And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob he goes into a place with his family, his children. Rachel is pregnant with Benjamin at this time. So he sends them their way, right? And Jacob was left alone. And there wrestled a man, right? So Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the break of day. So it is nighttime. This man is wrestling with a man he don't know until the break of day. Some of you guys are going to say, well, what you mean he didn't know him, right? I just showed you in verse 1, right? In verse 1, he says, matter of fact, let's go to verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. So the angels already met Jacob. So Jacob, and look, verse 2 tells you, and when Jacob saw them, he said, this is God's host. So he said, yo, you were sent from the Father. So he already knew the difference between a man and the Most High's angels. He already knew. He was able to dissect that. He was able to dive further. Like, oh, what's up? The Father sent you. What's up? What's going on? Right? So I want you guys to pay attention clearly to this. Right? Let's go down. Let's go back down to what we was reading. Right? And when Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the break of day. So here's Jacob leaving his family, his pregnant wife at night, and he's wrestling with a man till the day. Don't that sound kind of Europeanish to me? So the man them gonna go wrestle with the next man at night until the break of day. So what? Jacob is an LGBTQ candidate too? That don't sound like an LGBTQ candidate. It sounds like an alphabet situation is occurring. Okay? How does a man leave his family, his children, left everybody alone? He said, yo, y'all go this way. I want to be left alone. I see a man. I'm about to go wrestle with him, guys. Come here. Put him in a headlock. And now he's holding him until the break of day. A man he never met, don't know. He just wrestled a man. He got left alone to just go wrestle a man. Hey, guys, I'm wrestling him. Now, I want anybody in the right state of mind say to yourself, would you leave your family behind? Your pregnant woman at that, your favorite wife, because you know Rachel was his favorite. His favorite wife, pregnant with his child, he's going to leave them alone. He's going to leave them alone to go wrestle with a man. You're going to leave good poom poom, 4 poom pooms to pick from, to leave them alone with your children to go deal with a man them. I'm going to go wrestle. He's trying to, but he was signing up for the WWE. He was going to be a WCW. He was going to be an Israelite crusader. But I be wilding, right? This is right in our faces. But I'm wilding. Let's continue. Right? And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the break of day. And look, let's continue. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, look, this is when you know this is a spooky story, right? Listen, he touched and hollowed his thigh. So the man then touched his thigh. So I'm wrestling with you and I'm touching your thigh. When you dance with your woman, your hand is on her hip or her thigh, right? But now here's a man that I don't know. Jacob don't know. He was left alone and wrestled a man, and the man hollowed his thigh. We should look up and see what hollow is, right? I don't want to, because if I see something foolish, I'm going to be upset, right? Right? He touched the hollow of his thighs, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. So he touches his thigh. He hollowed his thigh, and he's still wrestling with him, right? Nah, babes, for real. You can't tell me this is not hilarious, bro. Come on. You can't. I'm reading. I'm not. This is not my writings. You're watching this right in front of your face. Anyway, right? And he said, and look, and here we go. And he wrestled with him. Verse 26. And he said, let me go, for the day breaketh. He gotta go home. The day breaketh. You've been wrestling with this guy all night. The guy you wrestling with, he finished touching your thigh. He hollowed it. He made it holy. Yo. He said, let me go, for the day breaketh. Now, mind you, this is a man wrestling with a man he don't know, right? But yeah, he's afraid of Esau. He called Esau his Lord. Then he sent his manservants and said, I'm gonna divide everybody. So if he smite you guys, you guys can run. You can run off. He gonna run off. And then he's gonna, out of nowhere, the story shifts to now he's walking with his family, his children. And he says, honey, you guys go there. Leave me alone. I want to be by myself. Oh, my jeez. He said, I want to be by myself. So now Jacob is by himself, and then he wrestled the man. Where did this man come from? Was he laying on the ground saying, come wrestle me? Was his legs open? He said, come put me in a figure four, headlock, leg lock. What happened? He was wrestling. When I hear the word wrestling, all I think is WWE. It's a whole bunch of men with tight little underwears, flying, leg lock, sweaty hand balls on people. This is what's going on. And he did that from night till day. So he left his family to go wrestle with a man that he never met. Let's go. Let's continue. Right? And he says, and look, he says, for the day breaketh, and he said, I will not let thee go except thou bless me. So now you wrestling a man. He hollowed you. You've been wrestling with him for God knows how long. Now you got this man in a chokehold, and you saying you're not gonna let me go until he blesses you. Right? Cool. Right? And he said unto him, what is thy name? So now So now the Lord knows who Jacob is. The angels know who Jacob is. But here we are. He's wrestling with a man, and the man says, "What is thy name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "Thy name shall be called no more Jacob." Let me highlight this right here. No more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince has thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed. Right? Right? He said, "No more Jacob." Right? This is what it is. This was 28. Verse 29 says what? And then remember, he said, "Your name will no longer be called Jacob, but Israel," right? Verse 29 says, "And Jacob asked him and said, Tell me, I pray thee, thy name. And he said, Wherefore it is that thou dost ask for my name? And he blessed him there," right? That was 29. Verse 30. "And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel, for I have seen God's face." So now he's seen God's face. But if he sees God's face, why would God ask him, "What is thy name?" When we just went up, the Lord was speaking with him. He said, "You shall be great." But now all of a sudden the Lord does not know Jacob's name. The Lord, the Father, doesn't know Jacob's name. It says, "For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved." Right? This is what was said, right? So then now now they're ready to interject Israel, right? Verse 32 says, "Therefore the children of Israel eat not of the sinew which shrinketh, which is upon the hollow of the thigh unto this day, because he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh and the sinew that shrank." Right? This is the story. Cool. So now let me pull the Strongs out. Now we're going to look up Israel. We're going to see the definition of Israel. This is H3478. It says, Yisrael. This is this. Isis, Ra, Eli, Beli, right? Look what the definition of that. It says, "He will rule as God, Jezreel." Look, a symbolic name of Jacob. A symbolic name of Jacob. Let me say that again. Maybe you guys didn't hear that. A symbolic name of Jacob. So that's not his name. It's a symbol. So when you hear the word symbolic, who will make that a symbolic? Who would take that? Who will create Israel as a symbol for their position, as a symbol of who they are? It's only one particular people that would do that. The same people that took you off the land of Africa, put you on a ship, and changed your name for Benjonai to Benjamin, or Beniah, or Shimeiah. These are the same people that always have to have a name change. And what's the reason? Because they gotta symbolize. Symbolize. But if a name is changed, it shouldn't be symbolic. If my name is Junior, that's my name. To a symbolic is what? I don't know. A symbolic is it should be a symbol. That means that name is an object. It's a material. It's not really. It's symbolic, meaning somebody could own that. That's not the actual name of the person. You ever notice that these Khazars never refer to themselves as the children of Jacob? They always say, I'm an Israeli. They claim who they are. They don't call themselves. They created the term Jewish. But this is what you guys want to be, right? So now we got an understanding about that, right? Let me go bring it back. Now we got an understanding about that. Let me just put my face with that. Talk to the people. Now we got an understanding about that, right? Can a symbol be described as somebody's name? If I'm symbolically something, that means that I'm actually not that. That sounds kind of fakish. What's a symbolic? Didn't the Father say no graven images? What, like, I don't understand. So in effect, let's go to Strong's again. Let's click Jacob. Let me see something. Look. Look. Look how they got. Look how they got the name. Look, Akobi right here. You can see it. Akobi. They put the Yah there to give reference to their father, Lucifer. But look, you see it right here. Akobi. Look, and look what it stands for. Heel catcher. That is the supplanter. That look how it's spelled here, and look how they got it. Dawakob. Look, the Israeli-ish. That you know, you hear the word ish in it. You know something is fishy, ishy, Israeli-ish, patriotic. Jacob. Come on, people. Like, people, you guys gotta wake up, man. God damn, bro. Let me see Esau. Look at Esau. Look at Esau. Look. It says apparently a form of the passive principle of H6213 in the original sense of handling, rough, that is sensible, fell, Izavah, a son of Isaac, including his posterity, Esau. Look how they glorify Esau, demonize Jacob, then tells you he got a name change. That's not even a name change. It's symbolic. So when you call yourself a Hebrew Israelite, you just calling yourself a symbol. I thank the Father every day for this awakening, man, because I don't deserve this. I really don't deserve this. And the fact that he's laying this upon me, and I didn't even give you guys my screen. Hold on, let me pull this up for you. My bad, guys. Let me give you guys my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna need a moderator. So whenever I'm tweaking, right? Let me give you Esau. Look at the root word for Esau. Apparently a form that passive participate HCC, right? In the original sense of handling, rough, that is sensible, felt, Esavah, a son of Isaac, including his prosperity, right? Right here, Esau, right? Look how they uphold this, right? Right? And then when we click Jacob, look at this. A heel catcher. He's over here at the bottom holding heels, right? A supplanter. Jacob, the Israeli-ish patriot. And look, Akobi is right here for you guys. You see that? Akobi means firstborn. But they got to put the Yah in front of it so they could give Yah's firstborn. You see how wicked and evil? You see how wicked these people are? You see how wicked and evil? Let's see what 6117 stands for. Look. Look, it says a primitive rule, properly to swear out or up, used only as a demotivative form of 86119 to seize by the heel, figuratively to circumvent, as a tripping up the heel, also to restrain, as holding by the heel, take by the heel, stay, supplant. Look what they talking about your father, people. Look how they talking about your father. And then you really believe, you know what? You know what? I digress. Because when I say these things, I'm the bad guy. I don't know what I'm talking about. Right? So when you call yourself an Israelite, you're calling yourself a symbol. You're not even actually, so you're claiming something. And because it's written all through the books, and I'm gonna show you now that we see this, and you see that it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense that you can tell that these things was the interjection. There's no way on God's green earth where our big brother, our father, call his little brother Lord. Okay? There's no way where our father call Esau Lord. Nothing. So you telling me our big brother is afraid of his little brother, but has no problem wrestling with a man that he ain't never met. And they was wrestling from night to morning, wild suspect. Okay? What time was it? No matter what time it is, it's still too long to be wrestling. If I'm wrestling with you from 12 in the morning, from 12 in the morning to 8 a.m., that's still too long. 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That man did a whole full-time shift wrestling. What kind of wrestling was they doing? You holding him, you not letting go until he bless you. So you was wrestling with this man for mad long and realized, okay, look, I'm gonna let you go, but you gotta bless me. And he said, your name will no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. Right? We gonna see. I'm gonna show you that all of this is interjections. These are interjections, people. Right? Now we got that out the way. Okay? Let's go to we're gonna stay in Genesis. We're gonna stay in Genesis. Remember, his name was changed. His name was changed. Okay? His name was changed. I don't want nobody to say this is me. We're gonna say his name will no longer be called Jacob. All right? No longer will it be called Jacob. Okay, guys? This is not me saying that. This is what this God said. This is what God said. God's face to face in my life. So Abram never sat with the Father. I mean, it was having a whole tabernacle. When he went to Mamre, he made an altar and sat down. Had a whole conversation with the Father. The Father called him. That's my friend. That's what they put. But he was saying, that's my son. Abram was everything the Father wanted Adam to be. Let me say that again. Abram was everything the Father wanted Adam to be. Right? Let's continue. All right? So we can see that it says, verse 28, and he said, thy name shall be called no more Jacob. So I don't want to hear Jacob no more. That if his name is not Jacob, we should not see Jacob anymore. Because this is God that said that. This is God that said this. Right? Let's go. Let's go to Genesis 49 and verse 1. 49 and verse 1 says, and Jacob, damn, I thought his name was turned to Israel. What's going on? And it says, and Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that thou shalt befall you in the last days. This is the Father. This is the Father. This is what our Father said. Right? And when you go down to 33, what it says there. It says, and when Jacob had made an end of his commanding his sons, he gathered up his feet into the bed, and he yielded up the ghost and was gathered unto his people, which means his children, right? So it should have been, and when Israel had made an end of commanding his sons, I thought his name was changed to Israel and no longer Jacob. So he should not be called Jacob anymore. So why is he still being called Jacob? Why, when you leave America, you go into the Middle East, they refer to you as the children of Jacob? They call you the children of Jacob. Nobody referred to you as the children of Israel. Why is that? You know why? Maybe they know something that we don't know. Maybe they know that the term Israel is symbolic. Symbolic for who? And for what? And why? Before I even get to the why, I want to show you guys something again. Now we're gonna go into the New Testament, because you know people's gonna say, but the scripture says, and he came unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Yeah? Okay. We're gonna go to Luke. We're gonna go to Luke. Is it verse 19? Oh. Verse 33, right? Let's start off with 32, right? It says, he shall be great, and he shall be called the Son of the Highest, and he should be the son of Sunini. Give unto him the throne of his father David. So through the father Sunini shall give unto him the throne of his father David. Let's read what verse 33 says. And he shall reign over the house of Jacob forever. But I thought his name was changed to Israel. So now that we see this here, and I can show you countless interjections. I can show you countless interjections. The book of Psalms alone can show you countless interjections where he say something for Jacob and then they'll secretly insert Israel in there. Now, the question that you got to ask yourself is, why? You see it says Israel is symbolic, right? See, when we fell and they was giving the slaves the book, they had to make sure that everything went according to play in order for them to remain in power. What I mean by that is, these heathens had to give you a symbolic image of your Lord and Savior, right? And they made sure that it was a Caucasian man. So by default, when they symbolically inserted the name Israel, you're going to associate that term with the same Europeans that you're seeing today that's claiming that got laws protecting anybody that goes against their symbolicness. Right? So they got this, they put that there, they interjected that there. Why? So they can be the authority over your truth, be the authority over your book, to tell you how you now should worship your Father. When you go in, when you were set free and they instituted these churches, the first thing that they told you Hebrews, Jesus died for your sins. You no longer got to keep the law. He shed his blood on Calvary for you. So now, hear me, a black man, black woman, black children who don't have no understanding, who now has forgotten that these people that brought you here in this land are also thy enemies, who then our big brother said out that you are of your father the devil, that when you were sleeping in Matthew 13, when you were sleeping, the enemy did what? He made sure he interjected himself to be amongst you. So he had to make sure, he had to find the perfect story. Look how he went from being afraid with Esau. The story automatically shift. It made a 360 shift to now he's walking with his family. And then he told his family, go there. I want to be left alone. Then I see this man. I don't know who he is, but I'm going to wrestle with him. And then I'm going to be a black man and I'm going to wrestle with this man until it was nighttime. And I'm going to wrestle with him till morning. And I was just afraid of my brother. I ran from him. Now I'm over here wrestling with a man. And I put him in a headlock. And he said, I'm not letting go until you bless thee. And then the person that I'm wrestling with now asks me, what is my name? And then he said, and then Jacob told him, my name is Jacob. And then the reply to that was, you'll no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. And the precept that came out of that was he was able to be face to face with God. And we took that and we ran with that. I ran with that. Because when you being taught by these institutions, these organizations of Satan, they tell you, you got to see it like this. And when you see it like that, you don't want to question it because it's like, yo, if I question it, I'm going to go against leadership and I don't want no problems. But then history shows the greatest teachers are also the greatest students. So if I'm supposed to be a teacher and I'm supposed to teach the truth, I can't teach the truth based on what was told to me. I must take what was told to me, grasp it, continue doing my studies, find information, and then bring it forth. Each one, teach one, freely given, freely received, right? So Jacob's name gets changed to Israel. But I'm just showing you all through the scriptures. I'm showing you all through the scriptures that his name is changed back to Jacob. I just showed you that the name Israel is symbolic. Let's look up the word symbolic. Let's see what the definition for symbolic is. Let's see the. Okay. Let me give you my screen. I'm gonna give you guys my screen. All right?
Symbolic.
All right? Let's read. What does this say?
Serving as a symbol.
Serving as a symbol. Let's see what this one says. Let's read it. Let them read it.
Serving as a particular instance of a broader pattern or situation. Representative.
Instance of a broader pattern or situation. What situation? What situation? Have you created this name Israel to situate yourself into our stories, to situate yourself into our records, to be the authoritative, look, to be the representative. Look what it, let me read that again. Look.
Serving as a particular instance of a broader pattern or situation. Representative.
To be the representative of our record, of our book. Right? Let's read this last one. Let's read this last one.
Relating to, or expressed by means of symbols or a symbol.
Okay. But you see the key word is the representative. Have you taken out records? Have you interjected Israel so you can be the representation of our book? To be the representative of our book? To be the authority of our book? So the time that when we start waking up, you then gonna lead us to following Hebrewic customs and traditions, to have us following Greek customs and traditions, calling on Jesus, calling on Yahushua, Yahawashai, Yahuhu, and the Cuckoo, all of these Yayas, Ahaya, Yeshaya, all of these Yayas, and have us then believing that Africa is a land of Hamites, and we was only there because we was fleeing Roman persecution. And then you got other people that says we went up the north and then we migrated through Europe because they got a couple of pictures with Europeans that look black. They're using that as a reason, like, look, man, we was there. They got records that we was there. Have you ever asked yourself, maybe they put it there intentionally to confuse you, to keep you away from the only place that has a bunch of people that still looks like you 3,000 years later, 2,000 years later? That we can't find a single proof that can show that we was dwelling in the Middle East, operating, having civilization, nothing. We can't find that at all. But you can find all of that through the Arabs. Them Arabs always been there. They always been there. Some of you guys don't know that what they used to do is they used to kidnap women, impregnate them, then take these children and bring them into the east side of Africa and leave them there and have these children raise up and be amongst us. And when they started looking a little bit more like them, and we thought it was a scientific change, they was secretly coming in. We're not even going to talk about the Arabic slave trade that took place and how they was slaughtering. And guess where they was taking us, people? They was taking us to the Middle East, people. They was taking us to Pakistan. They was taking us to Syria. They was taking us to Iran, to Philistine. They was taking us to Israel. Before it was Israel, they was taking us there. So it's a symbolic. So they put that there to be the representation of what? Who are they represent? Who are they representative? Who are they here to represent? They ain't here to represent you. None of these prophecies fulfilled are being fulfilled through them. Not one. Not one. But they are the representative of that symbol, of that interjection name of Israel. So when we start awakening, they could say, nope, we are the Israelites. That is absolutely right. They are the symbol of their creation. That's who they are. Leave them be. Look how they uphold. Look how your Hebrew Strongs upholds Esau. And I sent this out to the big bro. I said, yo, do you think that when we fell, these heathens gave reference and high honor to Esau out of respect for their hands and our demise? Yo, because you helped me out when we put this book together, we gonna make sure you glorified and good. That's a question. Because I'm trying to figure out who gave Esau the authority for Jacob to call him Lord, to refer to him as Lord. I'm waiting. Esau wasn't no king. I'm waiting. See, the problem, the problem with you guys is, I'm gonna tell you what the problem is. The problem is you guys don't want truth. The problem is you guys just want to hold on to something that just makes just a little bit of sense, that has any little association with your struggle, with your poverty. You're gonna take it without even doing your studies. Majority of you niggas, and that's what I'm calling it, you niggas, a lot of you niggas follow Israel, or should I say this Israelite movement, because of Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And we take it and we say that's it. That's all we need to see. And we're gonna read the Bible according to the Bible, not knowing that our records has a lot of plagiarism, interjections that was purposely put in there to lead us astray. These people purposely put these things there to be the representation, the representative of your record. I had a brother on TikTok want to argue with me because he got a little gray hair and his chest is out. He feels like he knows the truth. I said, nah, fam, you off. It's wrong. Nah, yeah. Listen, well, I'm not saying that the Holy Land is not Africa. I'm saying Bantu people, the Bantu people, are the Israelites. I said, no, we're not. We are not nobody's symbol. I am not a symbolic figure. I am a man. I am a child of Jacob. I am a child of Sunini. I am a child of Abram. I am a child of Isaac. I don't know none of these people. I don't know no symbolic. There's nothing symbolic of me. Symbolic is synonymous with satanic. We don't do symbols. We don't do signs. We talk. We walk. Okay? Symbols is what these Gentiles do. We don't do that. We don't do that. We never needed that. We don't need no representation for us. We don't need none of you interjections in our records. I am here to expose every single one of you heathens until it's over. I'm gonna continue keeping my foot on you heathens, he-grows, and the newly installed heathenites next. You need to go back and read Genesis 32 over and over and over and over and over again and pray that the Father's able to let you see what I'm seeing. Unless you see that this is a Hollywood made up interjection. This is a director's cut. This is them putting themselves as the authority. But yet when you look all through these scriptures, Jacob is still being mentioned. Jacob is mentioned in the New Testament. I just showed you that. So why are we calling ourselves Israel and Israelites? That's not who we are. Leave that title for those that claim that own that branded that. Leave it to them. That is not us. We are not Europeans. They did that so they can have a piece of the pie, so they can have the reason. It's a lot of this. I can show you a lot of interjections with our big brother. A lot of interjections where they interjected things to make you soft and passive. When the Father said we were made in his likeness and his image, the reason why we hasn't risen up, the reason why we can't rise, the reason why we ain't conquer, the reason why we still at the bottom is because not only are we breaking the laws, but we operate in a subtle fear. We move in fear. We are feared of what your boss is going to say. We are feared of what this nation is going to say. We don't have to fear. You must stand. You must rise. You must walk in righteousness. To walk in righteousness is not to just understand precepts, Israelites. Not standing on corners and say and give hopes on what's to happen to these heathens. That's not what it is to be walking in righteous. Walking righteous is to stand on truth. You can't, I don't know how these dudes know all these precepts, but don't even see this. You don't understand this. You don't understand this. And I'm on them know all precepts, every single precept you can imagine. These dudes know. But you don't see this. Something is not making sense. And this is why I told the brother, I said, I can come out with scriptures every single day. But why do I need to use something that you guys keep your head locked in, glued in, and still blind? Why should I use that? So I can give you ammunition to say, nope, he's off. Read this. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here for an ego debate. I could care less on how you feel. I can care less on how much scriptures you know. I've been there. I've done that. I walk around the block, bro. I was street preaching. Before I was even out the ward, I was already out there listening, picking up, studying, doing whatever I wanted, doing whatever I had to do. Been there. Me doing this is what's new to me. Being in front of a TV, being in front of a camera and talking for hours. I used to do this in the streets, people. Didn't miss a day. When it came to this, I've been in the coldest of colds, hottest of hots. I've been into the gutter. I've been into the calm. I've been everywhere. Anywhere you could imagine, we've been there. I even did it in my own neighborhood. You serious? Come on, man. So I'm not gonna do all of that because it's pointless. I'm not going to feed your ego. I'm not going to give you ammunition to try to shoot this truth down with your foolish European teachings. Some of you guys are blinded. Some of you guys are the agents of the devil. Some of you know this, some of you don't know. Those that's a part of these organizations, man, listen, I'm telling you right now, you're part of this organization. Especially those that got to sign contracts, man. You walking with the devil, fam. You sold your soul to the devil. The Father will never work with you. The Father does not dwell in none of these organizations. Anybody that's calling on any one of these European goddesses, symbolic names, the Father doesn't dwell there. The Father is not a symbol. His children are in symbols. The names he gives us are in symbols. There are meanings. There are purpose. The Father's not going to name Jacob a supplanter. Who he's supplanting? His name's Jacob, firstborn. Who he's supplanting. But then Esau, who he hates, all of a sudden is revered and loved. He's cuddled. He's soft. But Jacob, the heel grabber. Come on, man. Are you dumb or are you dumb? Don't you see when they disrespecting you? Huh? You don't see that? Huh? Noah had 3 sons. And out of the 3 sons, Shem got the smallest part. He got the smallest portion. Japheth got all of Asia, right? Ham got all of Africa, right? Big continent. But here's Shem, the Melchizedek. He gets the littlest lot. And we got these he-goes running around saying he got the best part. Tell me what's great coming out of these places. Tell me one thing that's great coming out of the Middle East. Tell me one thing. Tell me where I can get gold, diamonds, all of that. in abundance, effortlessly. And if that is so, then why are these heathens all in Africa? Why nobody's in Asia? Why nobody's in Russia? Why all these countries, these European countries, get to rule by the people that look like them, that have no outside influence? We can't find nowhere in history where these people was invaded, conquered, butchered, murdered, raped, put into slavery, colonized. But you find that all through Africa. You find that all through America. Why? And you want to come argue and fight with me because I bring forth the truth? Because I stand with the Father Sunini? I'm not calling on Yah? And you got these heathens and these Hebrews running around acting like I'm running around telling people to break the law? That you don't got to do that? That you got to just denounce the Bible? That you don't even got to listen to the words of our big brother? Am I saying that? Have I said that? And if so, can somebody provide me with the intel and show that the fact that I did that? And show the fact that I did that? Please, somebody show me the intel. Or is it me surpassing your teachers in understanding, in all humbleness too? And I'm trying to give you this understanding so you can elevate. Because if your elevation and your studies, you can then come teach me and elevate me so we can elevate each other so we can be this great nation again. But you want to fight with me because I'm telling you the truth? You want to hold on to a symbol? You wanna have a representative over you? Who's your representative? None of you niggas own that word called Israel. You don't own Israel. You don't own Israeli. You don't own Israelite. You don't even own the land called Israel. They are the representative of that name. But do you fiending to be that? Like I say all the time, you guys are genetically modified Europeans. You GMO Europeans. You Hebrew Israelites are GMO Europeans. You listen to the Vanderbilt, who's another enemy. You listen to King James. Look, King James compiled. He put all the best writers to give you this lie. But he's a black man. He's from the tribe of Judah. I want to know who ordained him to be king. I want to know who ordained him to be king in a place that's not even in the Holy Land. I'll wait for that. When you find that out, you let me know. You let me know. Because when I read Matthew 4, when the devil took our big brother into the seat in a high mountain, he said, all of this I shall give you, the kingdoms and the nation of this world, the riches and all. I give you all of this if you bow down and worship me. He said no. So if he said no, who said yes? Got these heathen, you got these teachers talking about England stands for angel land. You damn right. That's where all the fallen angels dwell. These heathens never dwell. They was there. They was all in Europe, all in Antarctica, Russia, North Pole. That's where they dwell. But you got these heathens running around. You got these heathens and these Hebrews and these heathenites running around talking pure foolishness, feeding our people lies, adding on to the lies, giving me, look, bro, read this book. Why don't you read this right here? This is what I'm reading. Why you don't read this right here? Why don't you learn how to talk your language? Playing around. Why don't you read that? I got books for days. So like at the end of the day, man, stop trying to play people. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to insult people's intelligence, man. You guys are unlearned. You are children. You still drinking milk. There's still Similac behind your ears, man. And you prefer that than to continue, than to get up on the stove and cook up some fried chicken or something. Yeah, the fire's gonna get hot, it's gonna burn. The first time that you try to cook it might not taste good. You might miss a few seasonings. You might get burnt by the oil. You might just, but so what? That's the purpose. That's how you learn. That's how you evolve. That's how you become the great chef. That's how you become the light to the world that's in complete darkness. You Israelites have been in this truth for so long. You guys have not awoken a single soul, man. For every soul that comes in, another soul steps out. And then the same soul you brought in, within 3 years, that soul's gonna leave. And it's even happening at a faster rate. The only people that's still part of these congregations are the loyal, long-term customers, those that was already there before 2020. 2020 and up, the Most High has taken the veils off. Nobody is walking in those churches no more, man. Nobody don't care. Because they know something don't sit well with them. You think if I go to a black man, I was talking to my little bro yesterday. And he was like, yo, bro, you still go to that church? I was like, nah, I don't even rock with that. He's like, word? I was like, nah, I found out they was lying. He was like, word? He was like, yeah. I was like, yo, man, I found out the Holy Land is in Africa. He was like, this is what my brother said. This is my brother. My brother is not in there woke. He's not woke into the truth. He was like, yeah, I could believe that. We all did come from Africa. That is a fact. I would have to argue with somebody to prove to them that we came from the Middle East. I have to prove that. I don't have to prove and say that we came from Africa. It's just now the people that's arguing that we come from these other places are people here in America. We got some unlearned little children running around talking about, nah, man, we come from America. America is Israel, Jerusalem. Yo, a person pull up a map. Memphis is Jerusalem. Texas is Paris and all that. I can't make this stuff up. I cannot make this stuff up. This is where we at. This is where we at with the level of foolishness, man. Unlearned, uneducated, nothing, bro. Not trying to put the pieces within God's word. Gonna give me foolish stuff and say, nah, that book was written by man. But where you got your education from? Was it from God or was it by man? No question behind that. That ain't gonna make it make sense. Your ego, your pride is the reason why we still at the bottom. And we will never rise as long as you guys on this type of time. This is why I go hard the way I go hard. I go hard because the objective is to set my people free. The objective is to get my people out of this slumber. God damn. How many times you guys read Genesis 32 and didn't see it for what it was? I didn't see it for what it was. It had to be me realizing that I ain't from Israel. Because once you see the word Israel, it's like a psychological control. Once you see Israel, that's a fact. That's us. Yep. See Jacob. We Jacob. Israel. Change his name. That's it. He wrestled. That's psychological. That's mental warfare, bro. This is what you call the definition of a spiritual warfare. When you don't even know you're being shot at. Like literally being assassinated. We was getting sniped by the adversary and his minions. The organizations of Satan. And these same organizations is still going to teach this nonsense, teach this lies. And guess what? Who's the only one that's beneficial for these organizations of Satan? Is your leaders, your teachers. They the Creflo dollars. They may not be sitting on a couple millions, but I'm sure they have enough money where they don't have to work a 9 to 5. They could just stay home and chill and just wait for Saturday, wait for these Sunday classes, do whatever they want, feed you pure lies. And you guys are going to run in there, you're going to be on an 8-hour shift, giving your money to these people. And these man them gonna buy RVs, big old homes, boats, planes. Why you don't even have enough money to pay for an Uber to get to your location to congregate. I'm gonna leave it as that, man. I'm gonna leave it as that. And at the end of the day, I hope brothers and sisters get this truth. I hope the Father is able to open your eyes, take these veils off, and bring you back to the fold. I hope the Father is able. I hope the Father is able to give you guys a chance to come back home. We got these dudes really out here thinking that it's going to be a portal that's going to take us from our location and bring us to another location. They really believe this. They really do. So you're gonna go from a fleshly sense to be in the spirit, because you gotta go through a portal to then come back into a location and go right back into being in the flesh. Listen, man. At the end of the day, man, you guys gonna do what you do. I'm gonna do what I do. I'm gonna stand on this truth. My job is only to bring the children back to the Father, to bring us back to the Bantu that's in us, to bring us back to the promise that was not by faith, to a promise that was ordained to us by the Father himself. He said, you're going to be the father of many nations, a multitude, the sand of the sea, the stars in the sky can't be numbered. We can't be numbered. We can't be numbered. We can't be stopped. You can try, Lucifer. You can try, Satan. You can try, Cain. You can try, Ham. But you won't win. You won't win. It's your brother, man, from the motherland. I came to you guys live. You know what the slogan is. I am Mr. Keep My Foot on You heathens, you Hebrews, and the newly installed heathenites next. Are you dumb or are you dumb? I'ma holler at you. One.